Listen. Practice. Speak. Practice makes you perfect.
Question: how do you handle situations where team members express burnout or stress? A. I address burnout by fostering an open culture where team members feel comfortable discussing their challenges. I provide support, adjust workloads when necessary, and encourage a healthy work-life balance. Question: describe a situation where you had to initiate a cost-benefit analysis for a proposed project. A. I conducted a cost-benefit analysis by assessing potential costs, identifying benefits, and quantifying the return on investment. This analysis informed decision-making and ensured resource allocation aligned with project goals. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains aligned with the latest industry trends and best practices? A. I encourage continuous learning by providing access to industry resources, organizing knowledge-sharing sessions, and fostering a culture where team members actively seek out and share relevant information. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a change in organizational culture? A. I led a team through a cultural change by communicating the reasons for the change, addressing concerns, and involving the team in the process. This approach contributed to a successful cultural shift. Question: how do you build and maintain relationships with external partners, vendors, or clients? A. I build relationships by prioritizing open communication, understanding their needs, and ensuring that collaborations are mutually beneficial. Regular check-ins and feedback sessions contribute to maintaining strong partnerships. Question: tell me about a time when you had to implement a new project management methodology within your team. A. I implemented a new project management methodology by providing training, conducting pilot projects, and ensuring that the team was aligned with the principles and practices of the new methodology. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains focused and motivated during periods of uncertainty, such as company restructuring? A. I maintain transparent communication, provide regular updates, and emphasize the importance of the team's role in navigating uncertainty. Recognition and support contribute to sustained motivation. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a product recall or service interruption. A. I managed a team through a product recall by implementing a comprehensive response plan, coordinating efforts, and communicating transparently with customers. Swift actions minimized the impact on customer trust. Question: how do you handle situations where team members have differing opinions on the approach to a project? A. I facilitate discussions to understand different perspectives, encourage constructive dialogue, and work collaboratively to find a consensus or compromise that aligns with project goals. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a challenging negotiation with a client or stakeholder? A. I led a team through a challenging negotiation by thoroughly understanding the client's needs, establishing clear expectations, and finding common ground that resulted in a mutually beneficial agreement. Question: how do you promote a culture of accountability while fostering a positive team environment? A. I set clear expectations for individual and team accountability, provide regular feedback, and create a supportive environment where team members feel motivated to take ownership of their responsibilities. Question: tell me about a time when you had to introduce a new product or service to the market. A. I introduced a new product by conducting market research, developing a strategic marketing plan, and coordinating cross-functional efforts to ensure a successful launch and market penetration. Question: how do you handle situations where team members express resistance to change in work processes or tools? A. I address resistance by communicating the benefits of the change, providing training and support, and involving team members in the decision-making process. This approach facilitates smoother transitions. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with multiple stakeholders with conflicting interests. A. I managed a project with conflicting interests by conducting stakeholder analysis, facilitating negotiations, and finding common ground that balanced the interests of all stakeholders. Question: how do you encourage cross-functional collaboration within your organization? A. I encourage collaboration by organizing cross-functional meetings, creating shared A. I encourage collaboration by organizing cross-functional meetings, creating shared spaces for information exchange, and promoting a culture where team members understand the value of working collaboratively across functions. Question: Can you share an example of a time when you had to manage a team through a technology transition that required upskilling? A. I managed a team through a technology transition by identifying skill gaps, providing relevant training, and ensuring that team members were equipped to adapt to the new technology. Question: How do you handle situations where team members are working remotely and communication challenges arise? A. I address remote communication challenges by leveraging collaboration tools, establishing clear communication protocols, and scheduling regular virtual meetings to ensure that the team remains connected and informed. Question: Tell me about a time when you had to manage a team through a project with tight regulatory constraints. A. I managed a project with tight regulatory constraints by working closely with regulatory experts, ensuring compliance through meticulous planning, and maintaining open communication with relevant authorities. Question: How do you promote a culture of feedback within your team? A. I promote a feedback culture by regularly providing constructive feedback, encouraging team members to share their insights, and creating a safe space for open and honest communication. Question: Can you share an example of a time when you had to manage a team through a project with evolving client requirements? A. I managed a project with evolving client requirements by maintaining open communication, conducting regular client meetings, and adapting the project plan to accommodate changes while ensuring client satisfaction. Question: How do you handle situations where team members have conflicting work styles or personalities? A. I address conflicting work styles by facilitating team-building activities, encouraging understanding among team members, and leveraging individual strengths to create a harmonious and productive work environment. Question: Describe a situation where you had to manage a project with a remote team. A. I managed a remote team by utilizing collaboration tools, establishing clear communication channels, and implementing structured virtual meetings to ensure effective coordination and team engagement. Question: How do you stay resilient and maintain a positive outlook during challenging situations? A. I stay resilient by focusing on solutions, maintaining a positive mindset, and seeking support when needed. Recognizing challenges as opportunities for growth helps me navigate difficulties with optimism. Question: Can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a cost-cutting initiative? A. I led a team through a cost-cutting initiative by identifying inefficiencies, implementing process improvements, and ensuring that cost reductions did not compromise the quality of our deliverables. Question: How do you ensure that your team members have opportunities for skill development and growth? A. I ensure skill development by conducting regular assessments, identifying training needs, and providing opportunities for professional development that align with each team member's career goals. Question: Describe a situation where you had to lead a team in implementing sustainability initiatives. A. I led a team in implementing sustainability initiatives by incorporating eco-friendly practices, reducing waste, and promoting awareness within the team about the importance of sustainable practices. Question: How do you prioritize tasks when faced with conflicting deadlines and limited resources? A. I prioritize tasks based on urgency, impact, and resource availability. Effective delegation and clear communication about deadlines contribute to successfully managing conflicting priorities. Question: Can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a brand crisis or reputation management challenge? A. I led a team through a brand crisis by implementing a crisis communication plan, addressing concerns transparently, and taking corrective actions to rebuild trust and maintain the brand's reputation. Question: How do you foster a sense of belonging and inclusivity within your team? A. I foster inclusivity by promoting diversity, creating a supportive work environment, and ensuring that each team member feels valued and heard. team building activities, and open communication contribute to a sense of belonging. Question: describe a situation where you had to lead a team through a project with rapidly changing requirements. A. I led a team through a project with rapidly changing requirements by implementing agile methodologies, maintaining flexibility, and collaborating closely with stakeholders to adapt to evolving needs. Question: how do you handle situations where team members are not meeting performance expectations? A. I address performance issues by conducting constructive feedback sessions, identifying areas for improvement, and working collaboratively with team members to create performance improvement plans. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a product recall or service outage? A. I led a team through a product recall by initiating a swift response plan, coordinating efforts, and implementing measures to address the issue and minimize the impact on customers. Question: how do you ensure that your team members are effectively balancing collaboration and independent work? A. I ensure a balance by establishing clear expectations, providing opportunities for collaboration, and allowing dedicated time for focused, independent work. This approach supports both team dynamics and individual productivity. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a project with external dependencies that were beyond your control. A. I managed a project with external dependencies by maintaining regular communication with external partners, anticipating potential challenges, and implementing contingency plans to mitigate risks associated with external factors. Question: how do you handle situations where team members express dissatisfaction with their roles or responsibilities? A. I address dissatisfaction by conducting one-on-one discussions, understanding their concerns, and working collaboratively to find solutions, such as role adjustments or opportunities for professional development. Question: how do you ensure that your team's work aligns with environmental sustainability goals? A. I ensure alignment with sustainability goals by incorporating eco-friendly practices into our processes, promoting waste reduction, and exploring sustainable alternatives in our day-to-day operations. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with geopolitical challenges or international considerations? A. I led a team through a project with geopolitical challenges by conducting thorough risk assessments, staying informed about international factors, and adapting our approach to minimize potential impacts. Question: how do you encourage a culture of knowledge sharing and continuous learning within your team? Question: how do you foster a culture of accountability while maintaining a collaborative team environment? A. I foster accountability by setting clear expectations, defining individual and team goals, and creating a supportive environment where team members feel empowered to take ownership of their responsibilities. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a technology upgrade that required significant training? A. I led a team through a technology upgrade by conducting thorough training sessions, providing resources for self-paced learning, and ensuring that team members were proficient in the new technology before implementation. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a project with a tight deadline and unexpected obstacles. A. I managed a project with a tight deadline and unexpected obstacles by prioritizing critical tasks, allocating resources strategically, and implementing contingency plans to overcome obstacles and meet the deadline. Question: how do you promote work-life balance within your team, especially in fast-paced or high-pressure environments? A. I promote work-life balance by setting realistic expectations, encouraging time management strategies, and providing flexibility when needed. This approach contributes to overall job satisfaction and well-being. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a company rebranding effort? A. I led a team through a company rebranding effort by involving them in the creative process, ensuring a smooth transition and maintaining consistency across all communication channels. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with evolving market trends and customer preferences. A. I managed a team through a project with evolving market trends by staying vigilant about industry changes, conducting regular market analyses, and adapting our strategies to align with shifting customer preferences. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains agile and adaptable in a dynamic business environment? A. I ensure agility by fostering a mindset of adaptability, encouraging continuous learning, and implementing agile methodologies that allow the team to respond quickly to changing business requirements. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with a major technological disruption or innovation? A. I led a team through a project with a technological disruption by embracing the innovation, providing training, and guiding the team in adopting new technologies to enhance project efficiency and outcomes. Question: how do you handle situations where team members are dealing with interpersonal conflicts that affect team dynamics? A. I address interpersonal conflicts by facilitating open communication, conducting conflict resolution sessions, and encouraging team members to understand each other's perspectives. This approach helps in resolving conflicts and restoring a positive team dynamic. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with a tight regulatory deadline. A. I managed a team through a project with a tight regulatory deadline by prioritizing tasks, ensuring compliance measures were in place, and implementing a structured timeline to meet the regulatory requirements within the stipulated timeframe. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains customer-focused and responsive to changing customer needs? A. I ensure a customer-focused approach by regularly gathering customer feedback, conducting market research, and involving the team in understanding and responding to changing customer needs. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with limited information or ambiguous requirements? A. I led a team through a project with limited information by conducting thorough research, collaborating with stakeholders to gather insights, and implementing a flexible approach to adapt to evolving requirements as they became clearer. Question: how do you handle situations where team members are resistant to adopting new methodologies or project management approaches? A. I address resistance to new methodologies by providing clear explanations of the benefits, offering training and support, and involving the team in the decision-making process. This collaborative approach helps in overcoming resistance and ensuring successful adoption. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with a high level of complexity and uncertainty. A. I managed a team through a complex and uncertain project by implementing a risk management plan, maintaining transparent communication about potential challenges, and involving the team in strategic decision-making to navigate uncertainties. Question: how do you balance the need for innovation with the need for maintaining established processes and workflows within your team? A. I balance innovation with established processes by encouraging a culture of continuous improvement, conducting regular process reviews, and implementing innovations that enhance efficiency without compromising the stability of existing workflows. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with a high level of urgency and a need for quick turnaround? A. I led a team through a high urgency project by prioritizing tasks, reallocating resources strategically, and implementing streamlined processes to ensure a quick turnaround without compromising quality. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains aligned with the organization's strategic goals and long-term vision? A. I ensure alignment by regularly communicating the organization's strategic goals, translating them into team objectives, and fostering a shared understanding of how each team member contributes to the long-term vision. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with competing priorities and limited resources. A. In a project with competing priorities and limited resources, I prioritized tasks based on impact, negotiated resource allocation, and maintained open communication to ensure the successful completion of the project. Question: how do you encourage a culture of continuous improvement within your team's processes and workflows? A. I encourage continuous improvement by conducting regular process reviews, seeking feedback from team members, and implementing changes that enhance efficiency and effectiveness. This fosters a culture of ongoing improvement. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with a tight budget and a need for cost-effective solutions? A. I led a team through a project with a tight budget by identifying cost-effective alternatives, negotiating favorable terms with vendors, and implementing solutions that resulted in cost savings without compromising quality. Question: how do you handle situations where team members express concerns about job security or uncertainty about the future? A. I address concerns about job security by providing transparent communication, explaining the organization's strategic direction, and offering support and guidance to help alleviate uncertainties. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project that required a significant level of creativity and out-of-the-box thinking. A. I managed a team through a creative project by encouraging brainstorming sessions, recognizing and rewarding innovative ideas, and creating an environment that supported out-of-the-box thinking to achieve project goals. Question: how do you handle situations where team members are dealing with external factors that impact their work, such as personal challenges or external disruptions? A. I address external factors impacting team members by demonstrating empathy, offering support, and implementing flexible work arrangements when needed. This approach contributes to maintaining team members' well-being and productivity. Question: how do you approach building strong relationships with key stakeholders both within and outside the organization? A. I approach relationship building by actively engaging with stakeholders, understanding their needs, and maintaining open communication. Building trust and ensuring alignment with their expectations are key to successful relationships. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project with a significant scope change? A. I led a team through a project with a scope change by conducting a thorough impact analysis, communicating the changes transparently, and ensuring the team had the necessary resources to adapt to the expanded scope while meeting deadlines. Question: how do you ensure that your team remains motivated and engaged over the long term? A. I ensure motivation and engagement by recognizing achievements, providing opportunities for professional development, and fostering a positive team culture. Regular check-ins and team-building activities contribute to sustained motivation. Question: describe a situation where you had to manage a team through a project with shifting market dynamics and evolving customer needs. A. I managed a team through a project with shifting market dynamics by staying agile, conducting regular market assessments, and adapting strategies to meet evolving customer needs and market trends. Question: how do you handle situations where team members encounter obstacles that impede their progress on a project? A. I address obstacles by collaborating with team members to identify solutions, providing necessary resources, and removing barriers to progress. Open communication and a problem-solving mindset are crucial in overcoming challenges. Question: can you share an example of a time when you had to lead a team through a project that required a balance between speed and precision? A. I led a team through a project requiring speed and precision by defining clear priorities, streamlining processes for efficiency, and maintaining quality standards. This balance ensured a timely delivery without compromising accuracy. Question: how do you promote a culture of inclusivity and diversity within your team and organization?